Hello, everybody. Welcome to Palimpsest Live yet again. We are the International Art Alliance, and we are in the middle of our Palimpsest project, where we are sending physical paintings around the world, each adding a little layer, still making sure that the previous layers that the other artists have added are still visible through what we are adding. So it can get quite a bit challenging at times, but we will talk about that later. Um, so during this program, if you have any questions for us, please post them in the comments, or if you are watching this afterwards, if you're watching the recorder either on Facebook or on YouTube, post your question in the comments, and then we will either address it right here or in some of the upcoming shows in the upcoming weeks. Now, my name is Denise, and I am here with, all the way from Australia, the lovely Cheryl. There you go. And then from the other side of the world, we have Lara. She's in the UK. Then in LA, we have Ross. He's on our screen twice. And then we have the amazing Stephanie. She's in Toronto. Now, our other member, Rose, she had a medical issue today, so she might be able to join us a little later. We hope so, but she might not make it in time. So we wish her all the best. And Rose, by the way, is in Vancouver. And then to start off our show today, we have some sad news to report because our seventh member, Julie Brayton, who is in Rhode Island, let us know this morning that her schedule as a full-time artist has become so busy. She has a lot of shows to handle over the summer. This is her busy season. So unfortunately, she doesn't have time to join us any longer on these live shows or on the project. She will still finish the little test pieces that we are doing now. But unfortunately, she won't be able to join us for the larger pieces that we will be doing after this, which makes us very sad. And of course, she's still a valued member of our group, and we hope that from time to time, when she gets a little bit more time, that she will still be able to join us and talk about art and stuff. Is there any of you who want to say something about this?
No.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It was sad to hear it.
Yeah.
I can understand because sometimes also if it's hard to do it, you have to prioritize something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand, Julie.
Yeah. And especially because, sorry, Ross.
And the reason why she's so busy right now with her live shows is because she has a gallery right on the coast and she makes coastal art. So if anybody's interested in that area of Rhode Island, Westerly Rhode Island, go and see Julie Brayton.
Yeah.
And pick it up because she's only going to get more expensive, got to tell you.
Right. Her work is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, if you need some reminders of the ocean in your home, like honestly, like look her up because her work is stunning. I love her waves.
Me too.
Okay, so
I should show you. I'll do that next time. I'll show you my view from the driveway.
We're not jealous.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'm jealous.
It's the ocean, right, Cheryl? Is it the ocean from your driveway? You can see the ocean.
Yeah, actually, I'm on the bottom floor, and I can just see from my balcony out here. I just get a tiny little bit like through the trees. Like anyway.
We're not jealous.
Oh, nice.
All right, then moving on from that, Stephanie had a really awesome interview this morning with the amazing Kate Taylor. She was like all scared, like what's happening?
I didn't know what you were going to say.
Tell us more
Thanks,
about that,
Kate.
Stephanie. How did that go? How did you experience that? Where can we watch it?
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, you can follow Kate Taylor Art, just the way it sounds, Kate Taylor, Taylor Art on Instagram. And if you look at her, all her feed, and I guess I'm not sure if she's going to keep it in her reels or her posts, but she's going to save it there so you can watch it there. And yeah, she's great. Like she's a longtime artist. She's the chair of the Artists Network here in Toronto. And no, it was just, she made me feel very comfortable. As Ross said, I was completely myself. I even swore a bit. And, and I was saying like, it's a good thing that I wasn't too much myself because then it would just be blasphemous all over the place, right? But
Wouldn't be a bad idea, would it? That would be really interesting, Tim, wouldn't it? Really?
Maybe you could
it's
try that.
yes,
But I could almost see it in her hair. It's like graffiti, isn't it? It's how I'm really thinking. So when you're talking to me, I'm thinking.
I love your mind, Cheryl. It's true. I do. I love it. I love hearing all these amazing creative ideas that just get born and that just spring up out of. No, I love it. Please don't stop doing that because first of all, it's really inspiring. And second of all, like, you never know what you're going to say. It's great.
Oh no!
And I mean it in a great way.
Yes. So next week at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's Lara's turn to talk with the amazing Kate. So if you have time, please tune in on Kate Taylor's Instagram page to hear Lara talk a little bit more about her art and her experience in this group. And then I think after that, we will have Ross, if I'm not mistaken, or...
I think I'm the 7th of July.
Okay, so then after that, it's
I'm the 23rd.
Rose is next, I think. Rose is after that. Yes.
Yeah.
But we will post an overview of all the dates and the times of these interviews on our website and also on our Facebook page. I posted about it this morning, so you'll be able to see it there as well. Now, moving on from that, we have been working on our pilot project since December, I would say. So that's about 6 months now, and we're getting a ways in there. We're not quite finished yet, but I think we have a few pieces that already have like 5 layers on them. So we are sort of getting in the swing of things. We've figured some stuff out over the months, and I think today we want to talk a little bit about that and also about what we are going to do moving forward, because this pilot project is only the beginning of what we are planning to do. We started with this little 5x7 panels that we are shipping around the world, but we are soon going to be moving on to something just a little larger, maybe a 20 by 24. You got a panel.
No, but it's not big enough. It's
okay.
18 by 24. It's close.
Okay. It's close. So maybe we should just choose to do 18 by 24 instead of 20 by 24, because I know that Cheryl had some issues finding the right size panel, didn't you, Cheryl?
Yeah, ampersand don't. They're not. The ampersand isn't imported into Australia. And I'm just assuming that the other people Australia's about 25 million people, and I don't think the rest of the world really knows how small the population is and how big the country is, and that's always and I know that I have an American friend, and I know that she's just so into Costco, and she goes home and she buys all this stuff because we just don't get half the stuff anyway. So that's
Yeah, so maybe
that's a good idea though. Why don't we do that? Because 18 by 24 is kind of easier, I think, to come by maybe even for us.
No, I think for me anyway, it would be the same. How about you, Lara? Would you be able to get 18 by 24 in the UK?
I check. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a problem.
Yeah, so we can, and you, Ross, shouldn't be a problem for you either, I don't think.
no, not in
not in the US.
No. Too much stuff.
Okay, so I'll make a
just
note
incredible.
that we might switch. So this is the way this project is going, guys. We just sometimes need to change things a little bit. So
yeah, I actually think it's a nicer proportion too, Denise.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a nicer proportion too.
Yeah.
It's just got a little bit more of that, the angular.
Yeah, it is a little bit more narrow, so it's a little longer.
Yeah.
Which
And then what do you think? Should we still keep it like whatever orientation we want to go, or should we say no, let's do them all landscape, or let's do them all portrait, or horizontal or vertical?
I think
just anyway.
If we look at what happened with Julie's piece, where we were talking
Yeah.
about last week, where it literally works in any direction. I think we need to give ourselves that freedom.
Okay.
Where it's
I
just
was liking.
Yeah, also because the sample that we've made, that we are doing now, we didn't decide the direction. So some are portraits, some are landscapes. So
Yeah. It's true.
What about?
Oh, yay!
What about?
Can't wait.
Even if we did a grid of them, and if we lined them up, what if we decided to put a shape through them like a big patchwork quilt, and then we took because I mean we can pretty much just sort of say at this inch, that inch, that inch, and if we had some sort of a shape going through it, so that each of us worked with that, so that when we put them together, we would have a link. It just came to me then. I was thinking about how we're tied together, or how it's actually the painting goes. And so I was thinking about if it was a ribbon, or if it was, you know how they often use a thread, or even if it was a line for a landscape or some sort of significant line. I don't know. I thought we could just, like, so we have the.
it would be difficult because we are not starting all together. I've done some painting that are different canvas altogether, but to link all together is not so easy as it seems, because you have to check, and if they are not really linked,
It looks bad.
Yeah.
So the last person, when we put them up, we'll be painting between them.
But I also think that
you need to have all the canvas all together to
Yeah.
start to make this mark.
I also
You
think
would really need to plan it out and measure everything and tell everyone, okay, you're going to start
What
your
you could
part of
do
the
is-
ribbon at. Sorry?
What you could do is you could just do like a golden Fibonacci number here. We could mark it there and there, or we could do there and there, and then we could just do whatever we like from there to there. Then we could either do so that when they were
But
put
if
up,
the line is not
they would actually link it either way.
yeah, but also
Anyway.
I think what Lara is saying also, when you hang a painting and you hang it on a wire, it always moves a little bit also. And in
Yeah.
addition, I would say that we are finding out that it is already so difficult especially for the people who are adding the later layers in the later stages of the paintings. If there was something going through there, I'm assuming that would
I
make
know,
it
how
even
could
more
we-
difficult.
I was just thinking how we could make it easier to actually link them all, so that they actually had a really lovely link.
Yeah, but
as
wouldn't
that they actually put together as a six,
but wouldn't it be
as
more
a
interesting?
as a line.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be more interesting to see how they link and how they come together just by the virtue of each of us working on them?
Yeah, that's an option. However,
I think I'd
Go,
like
Ross.
to see this idea, Cheryl, as a next iteration, and using the idea of the link as maybe a jumping off point as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talk about connection and links and stuff like that, and make it an even more deliberate component of it. And the other thing I'm thinking is not only the wire, and as Laura was saying about how to hang it and how compositionally it can work together. We don't really know what kind of space it's going to go in, and if we're going to be working on, now we're talking about what, 5, 6, 8 times the size that we're working on now. What size wall do we need to be able to lay this out compositionally? But in the future, if and when we do it again, which I'm hoping we will, that we can do something that, like, I love this idea that it has a through line, like little through line to it.
Maybe
Go on,
we
Laura.
can start one when we will meet all together.
That is a good idea.
One, and then continue.
Yes,
From
but you
there.
know what we can do? We can do it as a. Sorry, I get really excited.
I love it.
No, we can. When we have our show, we do an opening night. We do a painting event where we are literally starting our next series.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
live
Actually,
in the
we could
gallery.
do that. You could do that. You could actually do that on the night. So we could have these, and then we
Yes.
could do the next series.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To have a live painting event where we are literally starting our new panels at the gallery, like physically all together, and then from there they go their separate ways.
We could have a highlight, a lifeline.
Yes.
A
A
lifeline.
lifeline.
Maybe that should be the theme, lifeline.
Hey, Cheryl, every time you speak, I get chills. I need to get a jacket. I'm getting cold. They're like,
Husband's always
hey, no,
saying,
Cheryl, you can't speak yet. Let me get warm.
Beautiful.
he always sort of says to me, he goes, "Oh my God, there goes another rabbit." I go,
No, but I love this. This is so awesome. And this is even beyond what we were supposed to be discussing today, because we were supposed to be discussing what we are going to do before this.
It's true. We should be discussing our current project.
But this is cool.
Actually, yeah, actually, it's even nice for this one. It's even like a linking what Ross was saying. You know, it's about the flow, it's about the life flow, it's about the kite. And that's why I was sort of thinking, if we had, even if we just put a mark on them at a particular, I would do it a Fibonacci sort of a sequence on it. You know, golden mean it on either side, going from there to there. And probably you could do a color change, or you could do something significant, a line. You know, something sort of there, something there to bring your eye. So actually that'd be nice. So actually, as you went from one painting, we could actually lead to the next painting.
Yeah.
Like focal point. So our focal points would almost be on the edges. That'd be fascinating. So you'd have like your focal points would be on the edges, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Something here, and then everything would have to lead, because we're trying to lead someone into the next painting, as opposed to keeping someone in your painting.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think that's a great idea for. I think we should already consider that this is going to be.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the idea of starting it all together, Lara. I think that's great. I think that's really, and it gives it a little something to do during the opening night. But before we get to opening night, we still have 7 more paintings to finish, or 6, I think now.
Big ass paintings.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So for the little things, for the little test pieces, we worked with the theme transformation, and for our new series, we are going to be working with the theme layers of discovery. I think, if that is everybody still agreeing with that. So I'd like to go around the room and ask everybody, so far, how has your experience been? Do you feel we need to make any changes? Do you have anything to say about moving forward? Stephanie.
So far it's been okay. You know what? I don't know that I'm the best person to ask, because I haven't seen any of the panels in months, it feels like. So from what I can remember, it went well. Like it was, but I'm super like enthusiastic, right? As soon as I get it, I'm like, I got to work on it right away. Like I think, and I try to like get ideas and stuff, but then it's almost all I can think about. And so I just kind of get them done. And also I was at the beginning of the line kind of thing. So it's easier for me, right? Because there were fewer layers, excuse my English, to consider. So yeah. One thing I do vow not to do, Guide's honor, is for next time is hands.
No, do it.
I won't make it a hand this time.
I think it's a great concept.
I liked the concept too, but like for collaboration, it didn't really allow a whole.
I thought it was fine. I loved it because it actually space filled. It narrowed the perimeters. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it was really nice that it was actually at space filled. That was a really nice thing. And I often feel that when you leave too much for our group, we balk because we don't want to impose on someone else. And so I didn't mind that idea that you'd actually made the statement that it was there, whereas I think with mine, it led the stage for everything to be too bitsy. And there was nothing to tie the objects together in a way.
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
pond.
thinking, I'm just sort of thinking about, it was just, yeah, I didn't mind the concept that you space filled. It's a nice, rather than the little pieces.
So do you think you would approach it differently for your second composition then, Cheryl?
Yeah, I've got a number of different ideas. I was actually thinking about putting some sort of I don't know, 60s, like a theme of I could almost imagine like the stairs and one of your buildings, Denise, is in the background, and then we'd have the stairs coming down, and then I could imagine a massive, great big dragonfly coming over the top, and then maybe with all these band members down the bottom of Stephanie's. So I was thinking about how I could block in the steps using various sort of colours as they went back. But that's how I was thinking it was going to be with your but I was just sort of thinking it was going to be more of a surrealist, like a surrealist sort of a landscape, like a surrealist piece of work. That's what I was thinking, that if I actually put the background in of straight lines and just colours going back, maybe with stairs, and that I was thinking of your Denise's buildings in the background, the dragonflies that came in, and the people in the foreground playing musical instruments, but I hadn't quite, Anyway,
I think we should just ask Cheryl to do all of the compositions for
I know.
us, and then we can just fill it in.
Just make yourself available. You should have a hotline, like an ideas hotline.
But I was,
Cheryl.
yeah.
Well, I'm stuck. I'm uninspired. Can you just talk to me for
Do you know
5
when you
minutes?
have those surrealist artworks that come in on those incredible sort of like backgrounds? I was thinking about that. And then I had that other concept of the table, how we could each have something which was really important to us, and we could actually paint it on the table. And so what we all brought to the table, like the meal. So I was thinking about that also, but anyway. Layers.
So many thoughts.
I
Okay.
know.
I get really, I know.
Ross, how has your experience been so far, and do you have any thoughts for the future?
Oh, my experience has been pretty terrific. Well, first of all, that we get to see each other across the world like this is just like miraculous, right? And like we've never actually physically met, and we know each other certainly well enough to get personal with each other and find out things and stuff like that. And I'm overwhelmed how much I care for you all. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? What the internet can do.
Yeah.
No.
And also in the way that we met, where we were telling each other the origin stories of our work and how we were going to approach it, gave us a different kind of a leg up. Which in some worlds, like my wife's world, she wants to make everything a program. I'm thinking, yes, every single group that begins should begin with a story part where everyone gets to tell the story. It's not such a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
It really gave us a baseline to understand each other and how we would give each other questions and stuff like that and tease things out. And so if there's any kind of challenge, I think I might have 1, 2, or 3. So one of the challenges is how any, like, it's not really my style exactly, but I guess maybe my technique is what I mean more of. How my techniques can fit into the paintings that you folks do, because I'm tend to be much more graphic, and I use like really disposable kinds of media and stuff like that. So to me, like I have already a quality difference, like it's my own, oh, this is not paint, it's worth it or
Makes
something.
it interesting.
Yeah.
I think makes it more interesting.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that at all.
No.
It does change perspective. And then also gave me some really good materials suggestion that I went and bought like today, a different kind of not a gouache. This is COVID brain. Gesso. Hello.
Yeah. G.
Gesso.
Yeah. G.
And absorb gesso. So that, I think my material will take better there, and then I can coat it, and then I think I'll have more confidence in using it. I think that the tooth of whatever it is I'm doing is going to hold better. So that was the other part of it. It's like like just materially, and I guess this is what I was really trying to say before. Like materially, my materials haven't really been holding on the panel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like I started like mine with a black gesso, and then I drew into it, and it's like, oh, this is not how I thought this was going to work at all. Well, let's keep going, right? It's much too late. The whole thing was black, and I was starting it, and so okay, so that's one thing. Now another thing that I've got going on is in the middle of every single thing that I do, I come to a point where I just like the brakes. It's just all in my, in my own craziness. The brakes go on, and I have to like work so hard to get the brakes off. But how come maybe Stephanie hasn't seen a piece in 6 months? I don't know, but because I still have this piece, I'm like, I look at it, and I look at it again, and I look at it again. Well, this is a good idea. And like I said when we met before, it's like, oh, I have this really nice idea, and like I'm sketching away on the tissue overlay, and yeah, maybe not. Maybe it should be this idea. So I get into this kind of thing, and maybe it's better for layers of discovery than for trans.
You could just put all your tissues on top of it and just have it be.
That's right.
Much more like my collage work. So that's a big part. I think that those are the main points that have been difficult for me, and you guys are really patient. So thank you.
No,
So is there anything you would like to change for our other panels?
Change. Do you mean like in any area at all?
Any area, just the process, the how we send stuff around, maybe the order that stuff is sent around. I don't know.
Well, listening to Cheryl and her like really just wow ideas, I'm thinking, wow, what if Cheryl had a drone and could direct by robotics or something from, what if we could do it from different parts of the world without actually, I don't know, I just went to some crazy, that I would really put that as a reality. But I'm excited to work on the larger size. I think there's a challenge to work on the smaller sizes. It's like, when you live in a small place, it gets messy really fast unless you pick it up all the time. And I think a little bit of the same kind of thing, like the amount of marks, the information that can be held in each one. We want to be more edited or something. And I think in a large, maybe it allows us to, we can move our hands differently and use large brushes. So there's an aspect like that. So I think that I'm looking forward to that change, and that's already built into our system.
Nice, awesome. Lara, how about you? How's your experience been?
Yeah, the experience has been fantastic and gives me much more than I thought at the beginning, because of the emotion, the excitement, the brainstorming also that we do during this live, but also when we meet outside the lives. I don't think that I would change something, and I'm so happy to be part of this experience with you, and we have a lot of projects for the future. So
yes,
I'm happy.
Me too. I'm also very happy. Alrighty, that brings us to 3:59, which means we have 1 more minute left of this live show. So that leaves me with telling everybody to please come back to see us next week at the same time. We hope Rose will then join us again, so we'll be a full 6. And also tune in for Lara's interview with Kate Taylor at Kate Taylor Art on Instagram on Thursday. What is next week Thursday? Next week Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be live also on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So catch us as well. And then if you have any questions, don't forget to post them in the comments. And we hope that Rose made it home okay and that she's feeling well. And we wish Julie all the best with her future shows and her busy summer schedule. Is there anything else you guys would like to add to that? Okay, then we're signing off for this week. We see you guys next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.